Hey, Shalom.
Hey, one.
Connected.
Hey, one.
Connected. Hey, Shalom. 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 First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rikakudash. Yahweh is the true name of the Most High God of Israel, the God that's been spoken of in the Bible. Yahweh Shai is the true name of his only begotten Son, our Redeemer and Savior, the one whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, Yeshua, Christ, and all other names. Ruach Kodash is the Holy Spirit that gives us the full understanding of this truth, which is a gift from our Savior, Yahweh Shai. My double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS. These are the men that taught me this truth, which is the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect spread around the four corners of the earth, pushing this gospel in all sincerity in these last days. Shalom also to the few sisters, Akwat, who are sincerely seeking his truth. It's the brother Yara Yala, Yashar Allah from the GMS Italy camp. And as I promised in one of my last videos, I said I was going to do a lesson on the roots of Amalek. So this is the title of the lesson. As you can see, it is tracing the roots of Amalek, the so-called Caucasian race that's in power today. So hopefully through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai, this lesson is going to be edifying and it's going to be, helpful to someone out there. Now, I'm doing this lesson more for those who are new into this faith, because usually when we speak, you always hear us speaking about the root of Amalek, how they control the world, how they are in the positions of power in this kingdom that we're living right now in this world, how they are very, very instrumental in perpetuating all the wickedness that we're facing. So I'm going to bring everything, through the scriptures and show you also certain verses of the Bible in which they try to take out of the Bible to hide this identity of who they are. So first of all, I would like to go and start everything off from the book of Genesis, bring out some precepts to show you who Amalek is. Amalek is one of the sons of Esau. Okay. Now let's go to the book of Genesis. I'm going to share my screen there. A brother made a sort of complaint that when I share the screen, they're coming out too small. So hopefully, I correct that error this time around, and the screen gets bigger. You can see everything. Hopefully, this time around, if there is any problem, you can comment. So I'm going to put it like this. So it's the full screen. You know, yeah. So I'm going to start off from the book of Genesis, the 36th chapter. I'm just going to try to summarize it. Genesis 36 and verse 12. Okay. So as you can see, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 12. It says, and this is actually given like the descendants of Esau, you can see from the 36th chapter. Okay. It's actually speaking of the whole chapter is speaking of Esau. So going down to the 12th verse, it says, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. And I believe Eliphaz is the first son of Esau. Now, if we go down, let's see, you see, it says, now these are the generation of Esau, who is Edom. And remember, Esau is the brother of Jacob. And this whole story that we're living today, it's all centered around Esau and Jacob. These are the two major characters in this great movie, because you see, this life is a movie. And the major director of this movie is the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai. This is a beautiful way that the elder apostle Gabal always put the story out. The story is written by the Most High, and it has to play as the Most High wants it. So the major character is Esau and Jacob. Okay, then the rest of the nations are just how do you put them, extras in the movie. Okay, but the whole thing that we're facing right now, it all goes back to the seed of Esau and Jacob. It says now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon the Evite. And this is just to make a point. It's not really anything, but you see, Esau actually took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. Okay, the Canaan, you know them, who they are. They are the so-called Africans, because there is a difference between the Africans and the sons of Israel. Though they might look kind of like alike, but there is a huge difference. They're also of a dark-skinned nation. And Esau definitely took his wives from these people so he can, gain back a little of his color. Because remember, at his birth, in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, it tells you he came out, looking red because he had no melanin. He says, so the point here is, and Bashemat, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajot. And Ishmael also is known as a very dark-skinned individual, so his children are also dark-skinned. In fact, the name Kada, which is a lineage of Ishmael, Kada means dark. And Ada bear, okay, and Ada, you see, speaking of Ada, things the first wife of Esau. It says, and Ada bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemat bare Rewe. Okay, so Esau's first son is Eliphaz, in which if you go into the root word of Eliphaz, it breaks down to Alaphazo, which means God is gold. Okay, let me see if I can quickly bring it out. So you see, in the original Hebrew, you don't have the letter E. It is Alafazo, which means my God is fine gold. You see, so these people are actually, it's part of their spirit to crave gold, to crave all these riches, because truly their God is money. Esau worships money. It's part of their spirits. So Eliphaz, being the first son of Esau, had a son. Okay, in the 12th verse, it says, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Amalek. So this is who we're going to be speaking about today. Now, let me just quickly check the meaning of Amalek. It says Amalek, dweller in a valley. Okay, son of Eliphaz, descendant of Amalek. Doesn't give really much. Doesn't really give really much about the meaning of the word Amalek. Anyway, so having made that point, let's go to the next scripture. Let me see. Okay. If there is any question, you can drop your comment. If there is any question, hope this is clear up to this point. So we're going to the next precept, which is the book of First Chronicles. So we're going to trace this root of Amalek. We're going to trace them to the people in power today. Okay, according to Bible. So First Chronicles 1:36. Let's see what it says. So here it's giving you, also a genealogy of the sons of Esau. So remember Eliphaz, it says the sons of Eliphaz, Teman, and Teman are known as the modern day Germans. Okay, these are the think tanks of the family of Esau. Okay, they are major scientists, their major scientists are actually Temanites. Okay, the Germans. It says, and the sons of Eliphaz, Teman, and Omar, Zephi, and Gatam, Kenaz, and Timnah and Amalek. So always bear in mind we're going to speak about Amalek. Okay. So you see, in today's rulership, you know, the book of Second Ezra, is it 6 and 9? It tells you Esau is the beginning of the world. Um, sorry, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning thereof that follows. Okay, okay. So we know that the world about to end right now because this is the end of this rulership. Esau is definitely the one ruling. Then Jacob is going to rule after the end of this rulership. Okay. So now let's get the next precept, which is the book of. I'm just trying to make it, easy and smooth, going step by step. The book of Exodus 17 and 8. So this is just to get a little insights on the problems we've always had with this family of the Amalek, because it didn't just start today. It all started through the spirits, at the birth of Esau and Jacob. Remember, there were two nations against themselves, and remember, Esau hated Jacob, and definitely Esau transferred, this legacy to his seed. He transferred this legacy to his seed. His seed also hated the seeds of Israelite till this day, till this very day. And remember, when um when um when Esau and Jacob were in the womb, when they went to make inquiries from a prophet, they said two distinct nations are in the bowels of their mother. Okay, so those two distinct nations, in short words, it goes to the black and white as you have it so called today. Okay, but that's battle between the black and white because you have different nations that are black. Okay, it actually goes to Esau and Jacob, the seed of Esau and Jacob, the so-called white man that's in power today. And there is a particular seed of the dark races that he has problems against, because Esau doesn't have problems with the Hamites. And now, if you take time to check things out, you will notice that you have lots of Hamites that are making it better than Jakes in whichever country you have. Like here in Italy, we have various Hamites. They're not really much, but if you meet any Hamite, you always be sure that they are in a better position than Jake's. Okay, the Hamites, they own stores, they are in a better position than Jake, and they use this Hamites also in Africa, to mess things up. They're always in positions of rulership, to keep Jake on check. But you see, Jake doesn't have the knowledge of understanding that he's not an Amite, because Jake would say we are all Africans, we come from Africa with this, with that, but Jake doesn't know that he's not a Hamite. Okay. Now going back to the topic, this is Exodus 17:8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And this is after Israel came out from the wilderness, I believe. Can when the Israelites, they came out of Egypt, they were in the wilderness, they were going down to the promised land, and they requested to go through the land of the Amalekites, and the Amalekites, as usual, they welcomed them with war, and it says, then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai in my hand. And this is really spiritual, man. And so Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So you see, when Moses lifted his hand, the sons of Israel prevailed. They won against Amalek. But once Moses put down his hands, you know, the Amalekites, won the Israelites. This is to tell you that, when we follow lifting up his hands was towards the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai, and he had that staff that was given to him by the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai, you know, which represents, uprightness, the laws, if the spiritual significance of this verse is, if we really follow the Most High Yahweh Shemi Shai as we've been promised in I believe in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. If we follow these laws and commandments, there is no nation that's going to be able to stand against us. We're going to prevail against any damn nation that comes against us. We're going to be on the top, they'll be on the bottom. But if we put our hands down, if we don't follow the ways of the Most High Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, those nations are going to definitely prevail over us. And that's what's going on right here. But it's been explained in a spiritual way. If you have the spiritual eyes, you get the understanding of this verse right here. And but Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hand, the one on the one side and the other on the other side, and his hand was steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek, and name Joshua represents Yahweh Shai. Okay, if you go to the real translation, if they translate it real well, the name of our savior, according to their translation, should also be Yahweh Joshua, which means Yahweh Shai, he that saves. So he says, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ear of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Okay. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh, Yahweh Nisi. Okay. It's just put like that. For he said, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So remember, the Most High, he has sworn that he is going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So this seed of Amalek is present this day, and they are always continuously having war. This is a point that this is a point you should point out. This seed is here today, and they are always in war. And majority of this seed are the people that are taken down to Israel in 1948. Okay, so you see, these people every year from all time, the major wars, the First World War, the Second World War, it has always been among this race of people, the Amalekites, even till date. Israel is the most unstable country in the world when it comes to war. They are always fighting war. In the night of 1948, when they declared Israel a nation, which was a fraudulent nation, which everything was actually, you should go and read about the Balfour Declaration. The Rothschild have a hand in this, and this is actually the land of the Amalekites. They actually imported them Amalekites into that land, and these people have always been having war from generation to generation. You know, now going on, if this is clear, hey, Shalom, Nakala, Yahaba Shem Shai Barakata, Shalom Akwat. Okay, so now going back to what we're reading, I hope this is clear to this point. Those who have been watching, if it's clear to this point, I can move to the next point. Someone can drop a comment. It's clear, then we move on. So I'm going to get the next precept, which is the book of Deuteronomy 20 25 17 25 and 17. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 25:17. It says, Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how we met thee by the way and smote the innermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai. And this is this is how do you put it? This is a trait of this race. Okay, this is one of their traits. You know, they always attack the feeble, just like they're doing today, just like they did to what do you call it, to the Japanese, the sons of Ammon. They just dropped that nuclear bomb on them. They always take advantage, just like they did to the Afghanistans, to the Iranians, just like they're doing to all parts of the world. This is one of their traits. You see, they come and they smite you, when you less expect. This is one of their traits. It says, how they met thee by the way and smote the innermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and they feared not the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath given thee rest from all thine enemy round about thee in the land which Yahweh Shem Yahushai giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. So the Most High, he gave a commandment that once the sons of Israel they settle, when they get to the promised land, they have one mission to do, and that mission is to blot out the roots of Amalek from under the sky, because that root is a cancer, man. Okay, that people is a cancer. And these people, if you don't take them out, there is always going to be problem. Just like you're seeing in the world today, they are actually behind all the problems, all the wars that took place on earth. These people are actually behind, the sons of Amalek, because this is how they roll. This is the spirit that the Most High put in them. This is the real wicked that's being spoken of in the Bible, the wicked that's been spoken of in the book of Malachi. Malachi, the first chapter, is it? And it says, and this is the Most High speaking, it says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And this happened in the past, but then it was given power again. It says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Now they've built because now they are actually in power. They have the power, they built everything, they build the skyscrapers and all that, you know and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh had indignation forever. And indignation means righteous anger. So you see, these people are the border of wickedness. Remember, Edom, he has a son, Eliphaz, who had a son, which is Amalek. These are all Edomites. All the families of Edom, they have that spirit on them, that spirit of wicked. Okay, so they are known as the wicked. Now let's go to the book of Numbers, bring out an incident. The Most High told them to blot out these people, to destroy them. Okay, but this is what happened when they had the chance to destroy them, in which they didn't destroy them. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 24, in which, I would really advise you to go read Deepest Sympathy, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. Now going back, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 24. And this goes to Balaam, who was a heathen, and he had a vision about Israel. Okay, and it's beautiful that in this vision there are some points that are really important in this vision to bring out. So I'm going to read from verse 4. You should go read the whole thing. And it will Balak told Balaam. Okay, Balak, I think, was the king of Moab. Okay, let me just see to be really sure. Let me just quickly see. plains of Moab, and Moab was so afraid, and Moab Israel's children, and Moab said unto the elders of Midian, okay, he can. And Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites, okay, which are the modern day Chinese, okay. So the Moabites, they sent for, he sent messenger there before unto this Balaam, the son of Beor, to Bethel, which is the river of the children of his people, and called him, okay. So the king of Moab, they sent for a diviner, okay, to come make a swear against, to swear to make a curse, to curse the sons of Israel, okay. But while he was about to curse the sons of Esau, the Most High put a spirit in his mouth, and the Most High actually made him prophesy, man. And this is what he said. And he said, which had the words of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So this is what he said. It's just like they called someone to come make to curse a people, but the Most High actually gave this man a vision, and it says, "How goodly are thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel! As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the riverside, as the trees of line aloes, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters." And this goes back to the book of Genesis, when it's been spoken of the garden that the Most High created. There were different trees. Those trees represented different nations, but the major tree that the Most High created for himself was the tree of Israel. Before they became known as Israel, they were known as the Adamites, the people of Adam. Okay. Now he says, he shall pour the water out of his bucket, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag. Now bear in mind, remember this name. Very important. Okay, very important. Remember this name. Okay, because this is a seed that comes out of Esau. It says, he shall pour the water out of his bucket, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. So you see, it didn't say, and this points to you, this makes you understand that the war is actually between two people, Esau and Edom. Okay, Edom, which one of his seed is Agag. Let's just go into the roots. Let's see what its space says about Agag. So this is Agag. You see, king of Amalek. Agag is the king of Amalek. Remember, Amalek is the son of Eliphaz, who is the son of Esau. Okay, so you see everything is coming back together. So this shows you that this is a war between two people. You know, these are the major characters of this movie, because this life is a movie that's put together by the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So you see, it goes on to, you can go read the rest, but I just wanted to bring this point out because it's heavy, because how he said that his king shall be higher than Agag, in which this kingdom that we're living right now, trust me, is being run by the sons of Agag, man, the Amalekites. Okay, now let's get to the next scripture, in which, remember what we read a couple of um scriptures back, when the Most High said, he gave a commandment that when the sons of Israel, they get to the promised land, they should blot out the seed of Amalek. you know Now this is when they had the opportunity to do so during the time of King Saul, but he messed up, man. This is the book of First Samuel. Had it been they've done this thing, but it was all done through the Spirit. The Most High actually preserved this seed. you know This is the book of First Samuel, the 15th chapter, in which you should go read all this by yourself. I'm just going to pick up few points. It says, and Samuel also said unto Saul, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai sent me to anoint thee to be king over this people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Most High Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Very important we hearken to the words which are written in this Bible. It says, "Thus said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel." So the Most High don't forget things like men, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. It says, "Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that he have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and sucklings, ox and sheep, camel and ass." This is a commandment given to the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai. This is the given by the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai to the king of Israel at that time. So listen, it says, "Go smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman." Okay, the Most High actually wanted to exterminate that race. Why? Because it's a wicked race. As long as these people are on earth, there is always going to be wickedness being perpetrated on earth. These are the cancers of the earth. The Most High actually created them to be like that. You know, it says infants and sucklings. Now, someone might say, what does the infant have to do? Just like they say today, the Edomites, the so-called white people, when you tell them about the atrocities of their fathers, when you tell them how their fathers, put us into captivity, do all this wickedness against us, and do all that thing, they be like, it's not me, it's my fathers. No, it's you, because the spirits are all reincarnated, and the spirits of that wickedness is also in the infants. Once they grow and they become older, they become devils just like their fathers, man. And it says, "And ox and sheep and camel and ass." Now the people might ask, what does the Most High have to do with the animals? Is he angry with the animals? Because this seed of these people goes deeper than that, man. The seed of these people go deeper than that. Hey, shalom de akwat yaobashim yaoshai brakta. Okay, the seed of these people goes deeper than that. There is a reason why the Most High said they should, slaughter also the ox and the sheep, the camel and the ass. Because you can see what they're doing today, how they genetically modifying all different kinds of breeds, breeding all different kinds of animals, having all this bestiality, The Edomites are really heavy into this. And remember, according to the law, if a man is caught with another man, they both have to be killed. If a man is caught with a beast, they both have to be killed. Okay, so these people, they always have this sexual intercourse with different animals. They're into bestiality. They're into all different kinds of breedings and wickedness. That's why the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai said they should exterminate the whole people, both man and woman, both infants and the ox and the sheep and the camel and the ass and all that. Okay, so what did Saul do? Saul actually went there. Let's read a little bit. "And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites," okay, which these Kenites actually, they are a root of Hamites, okay. And when the Israelites were actually destroying the Hamites, the Canaanite nations, okay, the Canaanite nations, these people, they played a beautiful trick on the Israelites, and they got mercy. They got the Israelites swear to them that they wouldn't kill them, you know. So they had that mercy, which goes on even unto this day. You say, "And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt." So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. Okay. And you see, this is a move. This is according to me. This is what I believe, that this move was weak because, you know, giving this order to these people definitely must have sneaked out certain Amalekites, and the sons of the king and all that people, they must have definitely sneaked out certain people so they don't get destroyed. Okay, now going down here. "And Saul smote the Amalekites from Avila unto thou comest to shore, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword." But you see, it was supposed Saul was supposed to destroy everything about these people, the Amalekites, but he spared the king, and he sparing the king, definitely they've had chance to get some of their people escaping. The princes. You know, and but Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen and of the fatling and of the lamb and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything was vile and refused that they destroyed utterly. And this is against the commandment that was given to him. He was told to utterly destroy everything. There was a reason why, you know. So this thing actually, let me see what I can read again. But I really advise you should go read this whole story. It's really beautiful, and it gives you an insight. So the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai was actually angry against Saul for what he did, sparing the king of the Amalekites and many of the different things that the spoil of the war, in which with this move, definitely many of the Amalekites, they escaped, you know in which I'm going to show you that many of the Amalekites, they escaped, okay? Because this is not the end. Because what these people, the Edomites that's in power today, they always want to confuse you, hide the truth, and tell you that, oh, this actually caused the extermination of the Amalekites. No, this was not the extermination of the Amalekite, because the Amalekites still existed, they still survived, okay? Now let's go to the next precept, which is going to show you now the root of Amalek. Okay, now let's go to the book of addition. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen. Additions to the book of Esther. There is a reason why they took out this book from the Bible. There is a serious reason they took out this book from the Bible. Now, why is this acting out? KJV Apocrypha, addition to the book of Esther. There is a reason, because this book actually, it exposed who the so-called white man in power today is. The third chapter. Why? Why? Let's go to the 1611 version. You see, are they playing games too now? Are they trying to get rid of this book now? You have it here, chapter 3. It doesn't give you any verse. Let's go. Sorry, no results were found for addition to Esther. Why? How come? The Bible that I have with me right here has the book of addition to Esther, which they took this thing out. Let's see. You have it here, but you tell me that it's not available. You see, Esau playing his game, man. Seek the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai while he's available to be found, because these people are about to change the game. This is the famine of the world. The book of Amos 8:11. The time is coming in which we wouldn't be able to teach this truth anymore. You see, every day they're taking things out. Let me see if I can find this thing in some other way. Um, let's go to Google. Addition to the book of Esther. So, okay. Uh, why did they make all these things so complex like this? Please bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, I really need to get this because this is the point of the lesson. You see how these devils they walk. Let me pull KJV. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, Satan is a liar, man. What's going on? What's going on? We're going to find a way. I'm going to try it. If not, I'm going to read it to you. See, it doesn't give you anything regarding this book, you know. Oh my goodness. Okay. Khan. Okay, you see, Esau is trying to hide the truth, but the Most High, the Most High has done it in different ways that, the truth is going to get out. So remember, we were speaking about the Agagites, okay? Now, if you go read the story of Esther from the Bible, it tells you about this. To just summarize it, there is this enemy of the Hebrews, okay, whose name was Ammon, and this man really hated the Hebrews. He made a decree. He was close to the king. He made a decree that the Hebrews be exterminated on such day. He really wanted to do us hurt, man, and everything fell upon his head. And this is the root of that man. It says, "Albeit a man, the son of Amadatus, okay, the Agagite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mordecai and his people, who are the Israelites, because of the two eunuchs of the king." Wait, what's good? What just happened? So you see, this is just to tell you that the seed of Agag continued reigning. They didn't go in extinction. What do you call it? The King Saul, the movie made created space for some of them to escape. Okay, so you see, now if you go down to the chapter 7 of this book of the edition of Esther, so you see the reason why they took this book out. Very important book. This is chapter 7, verse 10. It says, "For a man, a Macedonian, the son of Amadata, okay, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us, but he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life." Okay, having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction as well as of Mordecai, who saved our life and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom with their whole nation. So, in other words, it's telling you that for Ammon, he was a Macedonian, the son of Amadadatha, which we read in chapter 3, that tells you that he was an Agagite. But it tells you here that he was born in Persia. Okay, this is what actually mean. But he's a Macedonian. Okay, and in verse 3 here, it tells you that he's an Agagite. Okay, son of Ahmad, the Agagite. So you see, the Bible actually keeps this record in which they don't want you to see. Now, guess who is a Macedonian? Guess who is a Macedonian? Let's show you that these people came back into power. Okay, let's show you who is a Macedonian, because it's really important you know all this. So when we say the Amalekites are in power today, we don't just say it because we want to say it. We say it for a reason. This is the book of First Maccabees, the first chapter. They also took this out of the Bible. Who knows why? Because it shows you the root of who they are. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, okay, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of, and it tells you that the Macedonians are that of the lineage of Agag, which Agag is of the lineage of Amalek, which Amalek is of the lineage of Eliphaz, which Eliphaz is of the lineage of Esau, Edom. So you see, and it tells you that these people, when they came into power, they came in through Alexander, and after he died, he shared his kingdom to four of his um servants that came up with him. And it tells you, and his servants bear rule everyone in his place, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Why? Because they are the seed of the wicked. They are the wicked the Bible speaks of. Okay, so you see, these are the people that are actually in power till this present day. Okay, they went on from being the Greeks to being the Romans, from being the Romans to the so-called Europeans that you have today. These are the roots of Amalek, the sons of Esau. So I really hope this lesson is clear. And if there is any question, if there is something you don't get, if you need more clarification on anything, you can just you can you can drop your comments. So hey, this is what I wanted to bring out through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as I promised. you know so to those who came in late, you can go watch the lesson from the beginning. It shows you how this root of Amalek are still in power today. And now, if you really need another if you need another if you need more edification on this, I have a lesson that I did on my major channel. Okay, where is it? Your channel. If you go to my major channel and you go to the home page, and you scroll down, well, you're supposed, anyway, maybe it's because of the life, you're supposed to see a video that I did showing you that the untold origin of the Caucasian race. That goes a little deeper. I brought out now, if you're right here, let me see, Caucasian. So you see, this is the video. Okay, let me put the link in the comments. Let me put a link in the comments. This is a lesson that I did, in which I go a little more deeper into this race, the Caucasian race in power today, which are the sons of Amalek. I brought out all different kinds of historical facts, okay, encyclopedias and all the rest, showing you that this is the same root that is in power today. Okay, now let me put it in the comments. That's the link right there if you need the video. Okay, that's the link right there. And I think I'll put it also in the description of this video. So hey, hopefully this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of the Most High. No, I didn't even. Anyway, this is what I was showing you. If you go to my channel, if you go to the channel, there is this video, the untold origin of the Caucasian race. Okay, go watch it for more edification, more clarification on this. So hey, hopefully this lesson was edifying to the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I'd like to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. My double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS. These are the men that taught me this truth, which is the 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect spread around the four corners of the earth, sincerely seeking his truth, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Shalom to them few Akwats who are sincerely seeking his truth. Shalom to all the people that, joined on this life. Hopefully it was edifying, and on to the next one. Shalom. Abad Babal. Shalom.